Welcome to Ironically Bundled. Let's get straight to the juice. In the last CA trailer, published on Pokémon Day, they showed us actual gameplay and many areas of the map. And among those, there was this short frame of an office. If you're unfamiliar or simply don't remember the events of X and Y, then you may shrug it off and think nothing of it, but it's actually pretty important. This is in fact an almost one-to-one recreation of another office room we see in Old Kalos, which is used by none other than Looker from the International Police. Looker appeared in many Pokémon games in the past as a supporting character, but the last time we saw him was a long time ago, in Alola. If we take a look at the new office and observe the details, we can actually learn some things. On the left we see a code, very similar to the one Looker uses, but a different color. On the desk, above the mess of documents, papers, and books, we see a photo of something, which looks to be an Espurr. On the right, instead, we see a conspiracy-type board, with places and connections. It's hard to tell what is actually shown on that, besides the obvious giant Lumiose city map. So we know this office is still used by Looker or his police colleagues to investigate the events happening in the city. However, since this game is set in the future of X and Y's Kalos, I don't think Looker will still be working. He will probably not show up at all. He was already an adult then, probably in his mid-years or on the older side, so he would be old in ZA, assuming no time travel or parallel universes shenanigans. Let the man retire and enjoy his life. So, who is running the office then? I believe with almost certainty it's his adopted daughter, Emma. To understand why, let's rewind the clock to the events of Old Kalos, and let me explain. In the endgame of X and Y, we become the assistant of Looker to find and arrest the member of Team Flare Zorozic, who's developing a weird super technological Iron Man-like suit, which enhances the physical abilities of whoever is wearing it, has the ability to override a Pokeball's programming, and even allows the person to change appearance at will. During the case, we come across a homeless young girl living in the dark alleyways of the city. Her name is Emma. She has an Espurr called Mimi. Looker then takes this girl under his wing and basically becomes like a father to her. However, Emma feels like she's being a burden and wants to find a job to help him back. She finds a job at a cafe, which turns out to be Lysandra's cafe. She is then kidnapped and tricked into becoming a test subject for Zorozic and his tech suit. During the tests, Zorozic finds that she has no experience as a Pokémon trainer, so he teaches her the basics and lends her his Pokémon. However, they still don't end up fighting, as the Pokémon enjoy playing with her instead. So Zorozic remotely takes control of the suit, meaning Emma will fall asleep in a trance-like state, not remembering anything or having control of herself. So essentially, she becomes a robot serving Zorozic. He then orders her to do a bunch of criminal activities around the city, which then alert Looker to see what's going on. We end up cornering her, then her Espurr reveals her identity to us. The suit then malfunctions, and she ends up fleeing. Next, we go find Zorozic at the cafe. He's forced to release Emma, and gets taken into custody. After that, Looker reveals Emma that he's part of the International Police and that he needs to go and continue his civic duty, but to ensure Emma has a bright future, he ends up purchasing the entire building where his office was and teaches Emma to use it however she sees fit. Emma then becomes a head detective and vows to keep Lumiose City safe, with her almost superhero-like hidden identity of Essentia, using the suit and the Pokémon Zorozic gave her for good. So she's basically Batman, or Batgirl rather. Now let's come back to the Kalos of Legend ZA. You can see why it makes total sense that an adult version of Emma is the one investigating the events and owning the office. The code is similar but has a different color than Looker's, and as I mentioned, there seems to be a photo of an Espurr too. But what is actually happening in Lumiose City that's being investigated by the police? Well, we still can't really tell from that trailer since it's mostly just showing new mechanics, places, and such. They kept the secret on purpose for future trailers. We have no main story mentions yet. However, we do get a hint in the few seconds at the end. As you can see, it's very ominous and serious compared to the rest. There's weird sounds, the phone glitches. We wake up in the middle of the night. The blue light outside changes to red. I think this is going to be a major part of the game and not simply a meaningless battle tower feature, like some pointed out, as they used that as a one more thing. This seems to be a direct sequel to X and Y and Auras, meaning the lore and story of those games will be connected and will continue in a way. I'm not predicting anything with the following statements. I just want to point out a few things and make you think. The Kalos is heavily connected to the Hoenn of Auras, and there could be major story ties. If you want to know more, check out a video I made previously talking about this. But a sauce thing I want to add is something that happened in Alola. Annabelle, a girl from Hoenn originally, is found on the ground unconscious by Looker and Nanu. She came out of a wormhole and she lost all her memories. They then find enormous amounts of energy coming from her body and imply she's a faller who was lost for a significant amount of time in the wormhole. Long story short, we don't know how she got there, but she ends up working for the International Police. But here's the weird thing. She comes from Hoenn. As I mentioned in the other video, the Hoenn of Auras developed dimensional shifters thanks to the infinity energy connected to Megas and the ultimate weapon from Kalos. Dimensional shifters can be used to send stuff to other universes or parallel dimensions. Annabelle had a very high amount of energy on her, and she just popped up in Alola through a wormhole. Pokémon and Game Freak have so much untapped potential. I wish they focused more on that, LOL. But yeah, anyway, if you have anything to add to this, then let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed, consider booping the like button and subscribe. That's all from me. See ya.